Hey guys, today we have Vishal and he's having total 3 years of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices. And guys, those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Vishal, how are you?
Hi Faizan, I'm fine. What about you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so Vishal, can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
yeah. Hi guys, I'm Vishal Singh, working at in MNC since last 3 years. I have been worked on multiple projects. First of all, I have worked on uh, ICICI DGO project,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, I moved in the ICICI ICAI UD, and where I have worked on multiple parts. First of all, UDIN generation, UDIN, bulk UDIN generation, list UDIN, verify, print, and export to Excel. I have used multiple technology stack like RabbitMQ, Kafka, and also working in the Spring Boot as well. And I have used microservices and other parts as well. And
Okay,
recently, I am in the KRA, Kenya Revenue
got it.
Authority.
Got it. Okay, so Vishal, let's say you are working on an e-commerce application, right? Where orders are very important for company. Okay. Now let's say your service suddenly starts creating duplicate orders after a retry. So what would you look first and where would you look?
If I'm working on the point where e-commerce is there. So if there is a duplicates in the orders creation, so what I will do, first of all, I will uh, create one table.
Okay.
Beside that, I will whatever order ID will be generated, I will put in, I will insert it in the table. So
Okay.
whenever it is going to do retry, na, it will check that if the order ID already existing in the table, then it will not going to create again and use that directly. And that approach is idempotency
I don't.
idempotency key. We can verify it. And in my project, we have a integration of the external UPI. So there is a chances of the whatever the external UPI services is there, it is going to retry the if the payment is not successful, it is going to uh, do
Okay.
one retry.
Got it. Have you used constructor injection?
What
Constructor injection.
concept? Yeah, yeah, I have used that.
Okay.
Uh,
So just tell me a brief introduction about constructor injection.
so there are different type of injection.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, field injection, and then constructor injection, and third one is any method we can create and we can set our object whatever there. So if I have a service, and if I want to that service, I will annotate that service class at the rate component, and
Mm-hmm.
I will uh, use the constructor of the controller, and I
Okay.
will inject that.
Okay. Vishal, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had launched complete interview preparation material structured step by myself, expert and MNC's interviewers. And the best part is that now no one need to go anywhere else to prepare interviews. There is a 99% chance that interviewers will ask questions from this material. So basically, it contains a lot of material categorized by experience level, means each experience level has a different material with all possible interview question and answers for Java, Spring Framework, Maven, Git, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, Kafka, microservices, Maven, Git coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. I have provided the links to get this in the below description. If someone needs this material plus two real enterprise client projects for the reference plus one-on-one lifetime doubt sessions and the referrals to the big MNCs, then they should check the interview preparation kit. I will provide the link for this as well in the description below. So now moving to our interview. So, can you just tell me about these scopes like request, singleton, prototype? What is these, their advantages? Like, why do we use those use cases for each?
So singleton is used mostly if we have a DB configuration where
Mm-hmm.
we required. only whatever the connection pool object is there, and
Mm-hmm.
its scope only singleton. So no other thread will directly going to create that object. So we can initialize lazily. So one instance for that connection, and then it can be reused by multi-threaded server environment. So there we can use the singleton, and our rest whatever the annotation is there, we can annotate that at the rest controller. It will give the one singleton object for all processes. And if we are doing if we want to get new instance on every request, so we can use the prototype scope. So we can use the add lookup.
Mm-hmm.
If we are injecting a prototype bean inside the singleton, so we can use the added lookup. By using that lookup, it will get the scope of the prototype. So means even in the singleton, we can use the prototype scope objects. And for the HTTP scope, if we want to new object on every request, we can use
Mm-hmm.
that HTTP.
Yep, that is correct. Okay. So let's say two pods are running. Both have the same scheduled job, right? So what
Okay.
would happen in this scenario?
To again repeat question,
There are
please.
two pods that are running. Both
Yeah.
have the same scheduled job. Same scheduled job. Okay, so what would happen? Is this an issue or there is no issue with this scenario? Like what would happen?
You are telling port.
Pods, yes, PODs. Like two services, two pods.
Okay, two services are running on the same instance
Mm-hmm.
in any one, and then we are going to get the services. Uh, so it will um, services same ports. So I think its conflict issue might be into the ports.
Yeah. So if there are two pods, they are executing the same scheduled task independently, this can result in duplicate processing, repeated emails, duplicate reports, or multiple database updates if coordination is not implemented.
Oh,
Okay, so how would you make
oh.
sure only one pod runs it at a
So
time?
I, okay. So I can use the different types of locking mechanism, like
Mm-hmm.
optimistic and pessimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Optimistic, one lock, what we'll do, if we are going to get a data, then we are directly use select star for update. So it
Mm-hmm.
is going to log that record directly instead of so if there are two jobs are running concurrently, so whoever is going to pick first, it will going to execute his task. But in the other case, if he first is going to take the lock and second is not going to take the lock. And second lock approach is, if we are going to do any operation before that, we are using the versioning. There is a feature flag versioning. Based on the feature flag, if we are going to from our request, we can take the version ID, and we are going to do one select start for either directly we are going to do one update based on the feature flag or version ID. If if it is going to match, then it is going to perform the update. Else, it is not going to perform the update. We have implemented that approach in our project.
Yes, that is correct. We can always use obviously distributed locking solutions like shed lock, leader election, quads clustering, etc. as well. Okay. Okay. So let's say in your project, someone replaced every stream with a parallel stream in order to improve the performance. So would you allow this or not? And also tell me the reasons.
Every stream.
Yeah, stream. We use Java features, Java 8 features
Yeah,
stream,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So if
yeah, yeah.
someone replace every stream with parallel stream to improve the performance, would you approve it? Yes, then
Mm,
explain it. No, then also explain it.
okay. Yeah, I will approve that
Why?
because in parallel stream, what will happen? The multiple thread is going to execute at a
Okay.
time,
Mm-hmm.
and it is going to get the data, and whatever the operation it is going to perform, either get or uh,
Okay. This is always good. Using multiple threads is always a best option.
not always, but
Then why you would approve it for each and every case, replacing the stream with the parallel stream?
no, only I need to verify that if it is going to work there that way, then I go going to approve that. Else, I will not going to approve.
Correct, correct. Actually, parallel stream don't always improve performance. They introduce thread management overhead and may reduce performance for small data sets, blocking operations, or non-thread safe code.
Mm, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yep. Can you tell me example where parallel processing make things slower?
Parallel processing may be slow.
Yes, yes. Like, do you know, is there any situation or use case where using multiple threads cause slowness in performance? Small collections, small data, when we have small data sets, small collections. So parallel processing would be slower rather than a single processing.
Yeah,
Okay.
because of context switching. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Context switching
sometimes
of the
database
CPU.
calls, REST API
Yeah,
calls has. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So let's say your service handles around 300 requests per second. Okay. So
Okay.
how many threads do you think are active right now in a project?
In my project, or is that scenario?
Yeah, in a scenario.
So, it is dependent on the CPUs and code.
Hmm.
So based on that, we can decide how many threads we can get. In my
Correct,
project,
correct.
actually, we have used that for sending a notification. We have used
Hmm.
that around 5 threads, and we have maintained the queue size as well. Set like we have around 200 something max size of the queue
Correct.
for sending
We
emails.
cannot determine, right? It
Yeah, yeah,
depends on multiple factors, as you said, CPU and all, right? And the request latency, server thread pool size, asynchronous processing, and there are many parameters. Okay. Yep. Okay, so let's say a controller become twice as slower after adding three REST calls inside it. Okay. And nobody
okay.
changed the business logic. So why this slowness increased? What might be the reasons?
Mm, for the next slide, I think might be due to the indexing of the table. If the data is going to increase, then the
Mhm.
obviously it is going to pick data slowly, so it is going to
Yeah,
create
yeah.
the
So
issue.
actually, the additional REST calls sometimes increase network latency even if the business logic is unchanged. And waiting for external services raises the overall response time.
Mm,
Okay. Okay, so
okay.
do you know about immutable classes?
Yeah,
Okay, so can a class still be immutable if one field is a list?
one field is,
List.
yeah, we if one field is list, then we can do for that we can use the only getters, not setters. So might be it
Hmm.
is immutable.
Okay, only getters would be sufficient.
Getters and constructors and uh, equals and hash code, everything, every parameter.
Okay. Have you heard about defensive copying?
Uh,
Like,
Defense.
for example, let's say your
Yeah, yeah,
class
yeah,
has.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
During that, if anyone is able to do the creation of the new construct, so that we can return the same instance every time.
Mhm.
On,
Okay. And
even
that is
we,
very important related to the collection list and all, right?
yeah,
Defensive copying.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. So the answer is yes, a class is still be immutable if one field is the list, and we should use a defensive copying. I mean, if we use a defensive copying, so yes, a class can be immutable. Okay. Otherwise, no.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yep. Do you know about Kafka?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So let's say a payment API succeeds, but sometimes a Kafka event never appears. Users complain that reports missed transactions. So like, what would you do in this situation?
So uh, first, there is a producer and consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the event for the payment created, if it is going, I have a log file. We have a log file for
Mm-hmm.
the producer and consumer. What data is generated and what data is consumed. So I will check that log and uh, try to check all the topic is configured correctly, and whoever the consumer is there, it is
Mm-hmm.
consuming the correct topic. And if it is configured correctly, then I will check other parameters like that.
Yeah, yeah, that is correct. Okay, so moving ahead. Now, have you worked with Spring Data JP?
Yeah.
Okay, so how Spring Data JP is different from Hibernate?
Spring Data JPA is actually what it is, a interface or one type of layer. It is
Mm-hmm.
provided upon the Hibernate.
Okay.
So whatever the query, whatever the method we are going to write in the JPA, it is
Mm-hmm.
going to convert it in the queries form of, in the form of the queries. So at the bottom of that, the JDBC call, whatever, if I am mentioning find by name, then there is a query going to run. Like start from whatever table by name, it is going to run internally JDBC call and it will do the transaction. And
Okay.
in the Hibernate, there is a different type of caching mechanism like one level, two level caching. So and also there is a multiple thing like annotations and other thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for the if we want to run anything in the Hibernate, so we can use the session objects for the creation of the DB connection to the JDBC. So we can do the all the transactions using that sessions
Okay.
in
Okay.
Hibernate.
So if someone wants to implement indexing uh, through Spring Data JP, so how we can do that?
Uh, Using that Spring Data GPA indexing. So if we want to do indexing, first either I am going to create directly as a either primary key, foreign key. We can use that inside the table, and we can use the uh, also we can use the limitation like pagination. So whatever the data we require, we can limit that based on that.
Hmm.
We can use.
Okay, got it. What is indexing? What's the concept behind indexing?
So if we have a huge amount of data, means around millions, trillions.
Hmm.
So if we want to do a separation of the data based on
Hmm.
something, so using that we can do indexing on the specific column,
Mm-hmm.
which is used mostly in the query where we are using the filters, like where ID equals, so that it is going to form a tree-like structure, which is some tree. I forget that name, red black tree or some tree is there. Based on that, whatever the request we are going to push, it is going inside that specific range of that data. It will
Mm-hmm.
pull that data based on that, and it will return that. So it is not going to filter data from all the records, only the specific sets of record which is in the form of the tree. So it is going to pick from that.
Okay, got it. Okay. So let's say a cache entry lives for 1 hour. A cache entry lives for 1 hour. A customer changes their address. They still see the old one. So would you reduce the TTL here or what would you do?
I do not
Okay.
repeat.
Yeah, let's move to the different question. Since you already worked on Spring Data JPA, what's the difference between CRUD repository and JPA repository?
On grid repository and JPA repository. So JPA repository is provided. JPA repository actually uh, is JPA repository actually, I think, extending the CRUD repository. So it is base class is the CRUD repository and JPA is on the top of that. Whatever the method it is provided, like sorting, deletion, and other save method, other thing, it is also there. But in what specifically it included in the repository, like pageable object and the sorting
Mhm.
some pageable and sorting mechanism. Other things are also there
So we have
included
a,
in the
different one pagination and sorting page repository, right?
methods
So
are there.
what does that mean? Where that stands?
So sorting, if we want to do sorting on the any specific object,
Mm-hmm.
so we can use that. And if we want to return a list, and that list based on that whatever the parameter is there based on the ID or name, we can sort that and we can return based on that.
Mm. Okay, got it. Moving ahead. And let's say your JP query becomes slow after the table reached 20 billion rows, means uh, uh, we are just iterating the 20 million rows, right? And that's why our JP query becomes slow. So, what would you do in this situation? How would you optimize it?
First of all, what I will do, I will try to create the partition.
Okay.
What partition,
Mm-hmm.
either based on the dates, whatever the data is for used, uh, whatever data generated past uh, 5 years or 10 years, we can create the um, partition of that table, or we or we can check the whatever the optimization required in the code. If there is a simple list is there, and we are iterating only the for loop by using the for loop, so we can use the uh, stream APIs for changing if there is a uh, scope of the changing that code. So we can try to do this, and after trying, we can check that if we are able to do the parallel streaming, then means we are try to optimizing the code as well as required.
Okay, got it. Okay, so let's say you are working on a feature, right? And that's working fine in local, right? You means you have done everything, local testing, unit testing, integration testing, and everything looks good. Okay. Now you have deployed that feature in the production. Okay. And first you started testing on low traffic in production. That is also working fine. Okay. but that feature is not working as expected, means there is a bug under a high traffic in production. So what could be the reason and how can we resolve this?
So if there is a huge traffic, so what I will do, first of all, I will check if my API is new, and if there is a new column added, everything, I can try to check the indexing, whatever
Mm,
the indexing and the proper indexing is running, or indexing is there on that table, whatever the, but I will try to optimize that table. And if I require that, what I will do, I will use the rate limiting mechanism
no, no.
for
Okay.
limiting the
So one second, one second. Uh, First, let's understand what could be the issue. So just tell me what could be the issue behind this. It's working in local, it's working with low traffic, it's not working in high traffic. So what could be the issue? What could be the root cause? First, let's understand this.
uh, due to the high traffic coming from multiple requests due to the high requests coming from the multiple places. So we are try to optimize that.
Okay. So if it is working in with a very low traffic and not working in high traffic, there would be something concurrency issues, right? Because they're in the low traffic, in very minimal traffic, we don't utilize the concurrency, right? It's working, always working fine. But when there is a huge traffic, when there is a huge threats are going to work, right, then we sometimes see issues in high traffic, right? So it suggests there is some concurrency issues, race
Okay.
conditions, resource exhaustion, thread contention, or maybe,
CPU users.
yeah, yeah, CPU utilization, distributed system timing problems, right?
Mm,
That don't occur in low load or local environments.
mm.
Okay. So now the question comes, how would you analyze the problem and what would you do in this situation?
So first of all, I will try to find out the root cause, and
Mm-hmm.
I will try to increase the CPU size for the JDB connections, like
Mm-hmm.
database connections. So I try to increase that. Even after that, uh, the issue is not resolved, then I try to use the rate limiting mechanism for the limiting of
Mm-hmm.
number of the requests for that service as well.
Yeah, that is almost correct. We would also use distributed tracing, right? We would also update thread terms, right? You know, so that we could do. Okay, moving to the next question. Since Spring Boot uses singleton beans, right? Every bean is automatically a thread save. So, is it a correct statement or not?
Every single again
Okay,
again repeat.
Spring Boot uses singleton beans. We
Okay.
know. Now it
No,
means every bean is automatically thread safe?
no, it doesn't. No, it does not.
No. Okay, why?
So it, Spring Boot is if Spring Boot generated only singleton object. So if there is a there are chances of that user has created some custom objects inside his project or workspace. So even if his Spring Boot created as singleton, but there is a chances of that multiple threads is going to use that.
Yeah, yeah. So answer is no. Spring singleton only means one shared instance exists in the application context. If that bean contains multiple shared state, multiple threads can access it simultaneously, leading to race conditions unless proper synchronization or stateless design is used.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
So moving ahead, you increase your HTTP timeout from 5 second to 30 second. Okay.
Okay.
Now production errors disappear, right? So would you merge it immediately? Your new code changes?
No, no.
Why?
Because I have, if I have done one request to new services, and it is responding even after beyond the 30 seconds. It is taking so much time. So it is going to hamper in the production as well. So it will increase the latency and the issue of getting the some exception as well. So I will not going to merge it.
Yes, that is correct. Increasing the timeout hides the symptoms rather than fixing the root cause.
Yeah,
Okay, we would first understand why requests suddenly require more than 5 seconds.
yeah,
Okay, yep.
yeah.
Okay, Vishal, it's run from my end, and yes, it was a very, very nice interview. You have answered most of the questions, so yes,